Hey, what's going on? This is BDF44 just coming at you. Check this out, man. I believe in D'Angelo Russell as a player. I know the Lakers are talking about bringing him on. I don't know what it's going to cost to bring him on. But as a fan of the Lakers and as somebody who just wants to talk about strictly basketball and capability, I definitely believe in D'Angelo Russell. I do. I always have. I was on the fence around draft season when it was time for him to be drafted up until the day of. Um, and I came to terms that he was the guy I wanted us to choose over Okafor. I'm one of the few people that still think Okafor has a future in this league, and he had a really good year last year. So I don't think that he's a bad prospect at all. But I just felt like his weaknesses, shooting the ball, strength, in terms of moving laterally and things like that, could harm him. You know, he was bad in key areas. So for me, it was just a hair in terms of D'Angelo Russell that was keeping them apart in my opinion. And of course, we took D'Lo. Obviously, it didn't work out with D'Angelo Russell. We know what happened with Nick Young and everything. And I was on board with the idea of trading him based on that, and obviously the bad contracts that we had that we needed to unload. And we did that. And I thought it was a good decision. And I thought that Brooklyn would be a good place for him, and it was. He ended up an all-star there. And now we've come full circle, and as a fan, I'm ready to bring him back. No questions asked. Pay him a good amount, something that's comparable to an all-star 22-year-old kid. Here's the problem. The reports are saying he wants to be here. You know, he wants to give us a chance. From what I understand, the quote was, and I don't know if this was a legitimate quote or not, but if the money's right, he'll consider it. So that's pretty much what I would expect if we pay him what he's worth, which is probably about $20 million a year. He's going to be someone that would be open to play with us. But my thing is, perception is everything, and he may perceive this as a situation where the Lakers gave up on him. Now, mind you, obviously, it was Magic Johnson who said, you know, let's cut the cord on this kid. And then from there, now that Magic's gone, you would think it would open up an opportunity for him to come back with a clean slate. But I also, in the back of my head, is just wondering if this is going to be an opportunity for him to say, yeah, see, I knew y'all was going to come back asking for me. I knew y'all was going to come running back to me at some point, and now here's my opportunity to say no. That's what I'm worried about. And we're going to get our hearts into bringing this kid back and our hopes up into bringing this kid back, and he's gonna give us the finger. Because, you know, quite frankly, he would have a right to feel that way. So that's my only reservation. It has nothing to do with basketball at all. I'm just worried about him saying no after we put ourselves in a position to put the money out there. Maybe we close the door on opportunities to get other guys because we want to, you know, give him his opportunity as an all-star. But if we can get him, I have no problems with bringing him back on board. Even if it means paying him more than half of what we have to give. I think he's that caliber of player. I think he and Kuzma ultimately give us unlimited opportunities to score the basketball when you consider what we already have in place. And they are high percentage shooters, high volume scorers that shoot a pretty solid percentage. So between the two of them, I think that even if like the AD needs to take a break, or even if LeBron James needs to do some load management, a guy like D'Lo and a guy like Kuzma can play off of one another seemingly effortlessly, and help us win games without those two if it comes down to that. So that's what I'm on. Obviously, my first choice has and always will be Kawhi Leonard. If he's willing to take everything we have, I say give it to him and don't look back, and then sign a bunch of guys that look like me. But I don't think that that's the best thing for Kawhi at this point. I think the best thing in his mind is probably choosing between the Clippers, where he can get the most amount of money and the longest amount of guaranteed time, and, of course, the Toronto Raptors, where he's just had a great deal of success and is receiving a lot of love, probably love that he's never received before nor will ever receive again. The Lakers fan base will love him. The Clippers fan base will be created because of him, but I don't think he'll see everything that he's seen in Toronto if he comes here. That's a different level. That's an entire country. So, you know, I think it's a long shot that he comes to the Lakers regardless. So, there are a couple players that I think we should also take a look at, that are names that are going around, and for some reason we can't get what we want. I like the Morris twins. I think you could probably get them for about $15 million each. It's going to be a little expensive, but at the same time, you give them an opportunity to win a championship together, and that's going to be a big deal for their family. You know what I mean? Like, really. You talk about, it's one thing to be on championship caliber teams. It's another thing to be on the same team with your brother, and then it's another thing entirely to have an opportunity to win a championship with your brother. I think we can sell that. I think we can sell that to both of them and get both of them on probably for the cheap. Especially given the fact that it's Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and why wouldn't they want to come here and play with that infrastructure? So the Morris twins are very high on my list. I like Terry Rozier. If we can't get Kyrie Irving or D'Angelo Russell, I think that's somebody we need to seriously consider. I know people are looking at Patrick Beverley. I would welcome Patrick Beverley, but my concern about Patrick Beverley is injury issues and his loyalty to the Clippers. You know, ironically speaking, most people I would say aren't loyal to the Clippers in LA, but when it comes to the players and people in locker rooms, I don't know that Patrick Beverley is going to go down the hall. I got a feeling he's going to want to stay there. Another name that I like, and I'm hearing a lot, is Vucevic. He's a good one, even though he's going to cost a little bit. I think the idea of having two offensive big men that can score with ease is going to make it so much easier on LeBron James to just rack up easy assists and not have to worry too much. Keeping it in the center position, I like Willie Cauley-Stein. He's a player that has an opportunity to get a lot better, but he's going to stay within the parameters of what he can do, which is rebound, block shots, and dunk the ball. But I do believe that there's upside there, and he's somebody that we can keep going forward and give LeBron James some spells, and of course Anthony Davis some spells as well in the big men position. There's so many names out there that are feasible for us. Gerald Green, I think, is out there. Danny Green also. I would love to bring either one of those guys on. Anybody that can shoot the ball is pretty much welcome. I think his name is Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich, I believe, from the Indiana Pacers. He's on tab. He would be an excellent pickup. In my humble opinion, he may have been the most consistent player in basketball last year. He just gave you the same numbers every single night, it seemed. I owned him on fantasy for about a month on one team, and he just literally gave you the same production every night. So when you have a player like that who's completely Groundhog Day, regardless if it's a lot of production or just a little bit of production, you can pencil it in, and that's a very valuable piece. So if we can get him for a reasonable price, I would definitely consider it. Can't buy them all. Don't let my words fool you. I'm not confused. We only have, at the very most, $32 million. So we would have to choose between everything that I'm talking about. Maybe we'll only be able to bring in a few guys, and the rest will have to be G League guys and rookies. And right now, as a fan, I could say that I'm very optimistic about their ability to put together a team because, quite frankly, we've done a great job of scouting over the last several years. So hopefully the Lakers can do what they need to do to clear up the space, and we can build ourselves a team around Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Shouldn't be too hard. My gripe with this trade was never that we couldn't put the pieces around them, nor was it that the price was too high. My thing was just that we could wait a year and pair everybody together instead of giving away assets. And although I know that some of those assets would have to go in order for it to work, at least we wouldn't lose them all. So that was my concern. That is still my concern. But now that it's all done, I don't think we should be looking to do anything crazy. I'm content and more so satisfied with the idea of what we have in front of us. And quite frankly, this is a win now situation. You know, if we're worried about the future, then we do different things. But we're worried about right now, and we're trying to get back into that championship caliber conversation. And, you know, Anthony Davis, regardless of how you feel about the trade, can definitely put you over the hump if surrounded with the right talent, and of course paired with LeBron James. So I've come around. I don't like the trade, but I've come around. So it's moving on type of mentality here. But anyway, hope everybody's enjoying themselves. I had a pretty good day thus far, and yeah, obviously, go Lakers. Peace.